Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Tap Nuo, and I'm a minimal techno artist, DJ, producer. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for checking out this video. And if you're not new to the channel, you probably recognize this setup. This is where I DJ at home. I DJ post mixes here sometimes every week on YouTube. Lately, that's kind of been what I've been posting. I've just been really into DJing, but I will also be posting tutorials. You can go back, check out some of my other videos, sound design, Pro Tools, stuff like that. But I want to talk today about 5 ways that I find music as a DJ. And it's very important to push yourself to continue digging as a DJ because, you know, if I'm playing, think about it, if I'm playing a set every week on YouTube, I don't think it's going to be cool with you guys or with me if I'm playing the same songs every single week. Then there's nothing interesting about that. And it's important to always push yourself, find new records. And so the first way I do that is by going on Bandcamp. Bandcamp is an excellent resource to find music. You can go by label, you can search by artist. Maybe you found a record on YouTube that you cannot find on Spotify or it's not on Tidal, but it'll be on Bandcamp. And side note, my new release with 92 Jelani on Valence Records, Ambivalent's label, is Bandcamp exclusive. And a lot of artists will also do Bandcamp exclusive for when the record first comes out, which will also be my next release. It'll be Bandcamp exclusive, and then it'll be on Tidal and all that. But Bandcamp is great because sometimes you can even find free records. It'll be like name your price. And if you want to support, you know, even just throw like $5 here and there. But you can go, you know, you can go by label, you can go by artist, you can go by remix, by genre. It's a really endless resource. And there's so much stuff that does not exist on places like Spotify, some of these other platforms. So number 2 would be go by artist. And this is kind of piggybacking off of the searching on Bandcamp thing, except, for example, what I do is I have a playlist on Tidal, because I like Tidal just because it's slightly higher sound quality, where I add music to it, right? And that's how I build this catalog of stuff I can pull from. And oftentimes I'll just click on an artist, for example, Sion or Fusiform or, you know, any other minimal techno artist, and I'll just look through their entire catalog. And of course they're recent stuff, but I like to dig. So I like to go back and look at, you know, what did Sion put out in 2007? And do I think I could work that into a set and show people like where maybe they know the artist, but they don't know the song because they haven't dug as deep into their catalog as you have. So I think it's very important to go, you know, search by artist and not even on their own catalog. Maybe you could click on them and it's like appears on or something like that, and you can see what remixes they've done. And that kind of ties into my third point. Remixes are a huge way to dig for music as a DJ. And if you're into minimal techno, I'm sure you're a big fan of Ricardo Villalobos, and we all know that he has incredible remixes. I lately have been playing a lot of Villalobos remixes. Some of them, I don't know where these people are getting them on YouTube. I can only find them on YouTube, and I don't want to rip it because I don't want to have a low quality MP3. But remixes are great because it's a good way to both find a new original artist who made the original track, because sometimes you'll like the remix and then you go check the original and it's just as good as the remix, although sometimes the remix can be better than the original, and that's always impressive when they do that. But remixes are great because I mentioned I'm really into Fusiform, and so that's actually how I discovered Fusiform. Was I heard the Someone Else remix of a Fusiform song, and I loved that. And then I was like, okay, let me just check out Fusiform. And sure enough, fell in love with his stuff. Turns out Fusiform has remixed other people. Then I click on them, and it's all kind of in that same sphere, right, of classic minimal techno. Now, are we on point 4? I think. I'm going off the dome. But point number 4 would be go by year. And if you go on Beatport, for example, it'll show you the year of the release. iTunes and some of the other places to purchase music, it's a little harder to immediately find the year. But I'm so into that classic like '02 to like '09 minimal techno sound. And personally, I think around 2007 is when the style just was chef's kiss, right? And if I'm looking for music and I see that a record came out in 2007, I don't even listen to it. I just click on it, and I know it's going to be good. And then I'll listen to it, and it'll 9 times out of 10 get added to my catalog. And it's funny too, because if you dig by year, you'll start to notice like shifts in the sound. I think a lot of people get caught up in having to play like brand new music, but the great thing about great music is it never goes out of style. It shouldn't matter if something came out in 2002, 2004, whatever, because it should sound just as fresh today as it did then. And in 20 years, it'll sound just as fresh, if you know what I mean. So go by year. It's a great way to see like developments in an artist's style as well, because I talked about digging through Sion's catalog. Sion, his music sounds so different in 2007 than it does today. And there's a lot of similarities, but you start to see how an artist developed. Number 5 would be play your own music. If you are just a DJ and you don't make music, even try and make an edit of a song. Maybe it has a long breakdown and you don't like that breakdown, but you want to play just the drums, then just edit out that breakdown. That could be your own edit of a song. If you produce music, and even if you haven't released something recently, try digging through your old stuff. And you don't even have to play your own, like the whole record. Let's say you have a song that you like and it has some great drums, and you have the option of a third deck. Then just loop that, do it as a DJ tool, and tease it in there, right? I personally play a lot of my unreleased IDs on this channel in my sets, and I like to play those sometimes all the way through. Sometimes I just tease them, but it's very important if you make music, you should try and DJ it in your sets, because a lot of people I've noticed, they get really like in their own head about, oh, should I play this record? What if someone doesn't like it? What if the mix down isn't good? And to that, I say, who cares? You gotta at least try, because you never know if it's gonna work until you try. And even honestly, if it doesn't go the way you wanted it to, you just try again the next time. You're only competing against yourself here, right? It's not like someone's gonna give you a grade on your set. It's all about, did you have a good time doing it? And did it feel good in the moment? Did you feel the music? Because music, it's just a feeling. And if it feels good, you gotta rock with it. And let's think, are there any other bonus tips I could give you guys? I guess kind of talking about what I said earlier is like build a playlist. Try and build a resource that you can go to so that when you are preparing for a set, you don't have to like panic and think, oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. If you're always thinking of, oh, I like that song, I'll tag it. Like I have that playlist, right? And it's got like 300 songs in it. And I haven't played all the records in that playlist, but it's the kind of thing where, let's say I have an extra 5 or 10 minutes and I'm looking on Tidal on my phone, and I'll kind of skim through using some of the techniques I've mentioned by year, by artist, or by remix, or by even compilation release. I like the song. I don't even listen to the whole thing. I just like, a little bit of the groove, throw it in the playlist. I'll listen to the whole song later. And if I like it enough, it'll go into my set. Also, if you have Shazam, maybe listen to a DJ that you really like, go through their sets and tag some of the stuff that you like. And if it pops up on Shazam, try and hunt down that record and, throw that screenshot in a folder that you can come back to. Or even, YouTube, of course, is an excellent resource. Maybe there's songs that you find on YouTube and you don't have the time to snoop around for it online, because some of them are hard to find, but you don't have the time in that moment. But maybe you just bookmark that tab and you save it and come back to that later. You don't always have to like in the moment. You don't have to, when you're preparing for a set, you don't have to like put a lot of pressure on yourself. If you are constantly thinking of ways to find new music, it kind of makes it easier. So when you are preparing a set, you can have fresh material to pull from. But other than that, if you have a way that you like to dig for music that's worked really well, please drop a comment below, subscribe to this channel, and thank you so much. New mix coming next week.